How do you choose the right mortgage advisor? And what is a good mortgage advisor? Because there are different levels of mortgage advisors and not a lot of people know that. And in some cases, if you're buying a house, a lot of people will just use the estate agent's mortgage advisor. And in other instances, people will go and find a mortgage advisor online. And sometimes people will get recommendations, word of mouth, from friends or family or people they know that have used that mortgage advisor. But how do you know that you're getting the right mortgage advisor, and what's the difference between the different types of mortgage advisor? And a lot of people, like I said just now, don't realize which mortgage advisor is going to be good. Should you go for a company of mortgage advisors, or should you go for an individual mortgage advisor? There's so many different questions that you need to know. So I'm going to give you a couple of tips that might help you on this. Now, of course, I am a little bit biased because I own a mortgage broker. I've got 5 of the top mortgage advisors in the country. I've done that on purpose because I wanted to have a good mortgage broker company and I wanted good mortgage advisors in it. But also, I was a mortgage advisor, so I know what a good mortgage advisor needs to do and how they need to be. So I'm going to try and make this as impartial as possible. I'm not going to tell you to use my mortgage advisors. I'm going to just tell you what I think you should look for if you're going to try and find yourself a good mortgage advisor. And also, if you've used a good mortgage advisor in the past, then please let me know. Or if you've used a mortgage advisor but now you're looking for a better one, then again, let me know. The first thing you need to know is that there are different levels of mortgage advisor. However, the mortgage advisor themselves will not tell you what those levels are or what level they are on. Because of course, no lower level mortgage advisor wants to be known as a lower level mortgage advisor. They want to be known as the best mortgage advisor in the area. But in many, many, many cases, they are not. And there's a few things that make that up. First of all, a good mortgage advisor knows every single mortgage lender's criteria inside and out. They know the inner workings of that mortgage lender and that mortgage lender's underwriting team. And the underwriting team, by the way, are the mortgage lender's team that check over every single case to make sure that the lender is going to be happy to lend to that person and it ticks all the boxes and there's nothing suspicious or there's nothing unusual going on. So a good mortgage advisor knows every single lender inside and out. They know the teams inside and out of that entire mortgage lender. But also, a good mortgage advisor doesn't just know all of the inner workings of every single lender. They know how to creatively get your mortgage approved. Now, that doesn't mean deceptively or immorally or unlawfully. What it means is that they know how to make your mortgage application fit with the right lender for you. And that is what a really good mortgage advisor does. But there's a bit more to it than that as well. A lot of people don't actually understand what is involved in giving mortgage advice. Now, the mortgage industry is very heavily regulated. There are so many things that a mortgage advisor has to do just to justify the advice they've given to you. And that means that a good mortgage advisor must give you the absolute perfect mortgage advice, no matter what commission they may or may not make from giving you that advice. And I'm going to give you an example that I heard the other day. One of my mortgage advisors, Claire, she told a customer that the customer would be better off not taking a mortgage because of their circumstances. Now, that obviously means that Claire doesn't get paid for doing that mortgage, but the advice has to come first. The advice of what's best for the customer has to come first. And that is where separates, I think, good mortgage advisors from not so good mortgage advisors. Because, believe it or not, there are mortgage advisors that are more interested in making money than giving the perfect advice for the customer. So look, I agree with that. It was the same when I was a mortgage advisor. The customer has to come first. The advice has to be the most important part of the job, regardless of whether you lose out on money or not. That's what a good mortgage advisor does. And there's another part to being a good mortgage advisor versus being maybe a lower level mortgage advisor, is you've got to have access to the whole of the UK mortgage market. That goes without saying. Now, there are some mortgage advisors that don't have access to the entire UK mortgage market. Or let me put this a different way. There are some mortgage advisors that aren't allowed to process mortgages with certain lenders. Now, those mortgage advisors might still tell you that they have access to the whole UK mortgage market, but they don't. Now, a key question to ask there would be, what mortgage lenders can you not deal with? Because believe it or not, there are some mortgage advisors that are not allowed to work with some mortgage lenders. And there are some mortgage lenders that will not work with all mortgage advisors. So you've got to know that the mortgage advisor you're speaking with has access to the maximum number of lenders that you could possibly choose from. I think that's really important as well, because if a mortgage advisor is going to give you the best mortgage advice they can give you, they have to know all of the options. So those few points I just gave you about a good mortgage advisor knows all of the mortgage lenders inside and out, all of the mortgage teams inside and out, the criteria, the underwriting, everything. Link that up with that mortgage advisor being able to access all of those mortgage lenders, then you've got yourself the first step towards getting a good mortgage advisor. But there's more, because again, mortgage advisors come in all different levels. I'm not going to name and shame here. I don't think that would be fair. But there are mortgage advisors that are very much on the lower level. And that lower level is computer says no. And these mortgage advisors must be avoided at all costs. I'll give you an example. One of my mortgage advisors, Ione, what drives her is the challenging mortgages. She loves a challenging mortgage where perhaps another mortgage advisor has says, no, we can't get you that mortgage. Unfortunately, you can't get a mortgage. You don't qualify for this particular mortgage. You can't borrow more money for an investment property, or you can't borrow more money to do those home improvements or pay off your debts or anything like that. You can't, because unfortunately you can't get a mortgage. Ione loves those mortgage challenges, and she really gets her teeth stuck into those because she knows all of the lenders inside and out. She knows all of the underwriting teams, all the criteria, every single thing she needs to know about every single mortgage lender in the whole country lets her find those solutions. And that's what drives her. Some people like money, some people like recognition, some people like praise, some people like affection, other people like challenging mortgages. I mean, I can't comment on that, each to their own, but that's what drives her. And so many times she picks up the phone to me and says, Tom, I just got this deal through, check this out. And she reels off the problems that this customer faced before coming into contact with Ione, and she always gets them through. She's fabulous. But anyway, I'm telling you that story because a good mortgage advisor will do that as well. They will find the way. They will find the solution. They'll find a yes when you've had a no. And that is really important. Now, of course, not everybody can get a mortgage, but there may well be other alternatives. There are other ways to release money from your house to do whatever you want to do, whether that's investment properties or home improvements or pay off debts or whatever it is you want to do. There are ways, there's always ways. And that's what I love about people like Ione who find a way. And that's what I call creative mortgage advising. It's not falsifying, it's not deception, it's not illegal, it's none of that, because actually you can't really do that if you're a good mortgage advisor. You'll get found out like that straight away. It's about understanding the inner workings of the mortgage industry. And there are some massive mortgage firms that have lots of mortgage advisors, and they are your computer says no type people. They're the ones where they type your details into the computer, hit submit, and then unfortunately we can't get you a mortgage, Mr. and Mrs. Customer. Sorry. Those are the mortgage advisors that I would avoid. And it's a shame because there are some mortgage advisors in there that perhaps could be really good if they joined a firm like mine and progressed to the next level of being a mortgage advisor. So that's what I would see as the lower level of mortgage advisor, the people that are very much order takers. They get their details from the customer, put them into a computer and hope for the best. That's not really mortgage advising, in my opinion. And I think you'll probably agree. By the way, has anybody had experience with mortgage advisors like that just type the details into a computer? No, sorry, can't get a mortgage. Let me know. I'd be interested if you've had that sort of experience. But also, you also get the middle level of mortgage advisor. And these are the ones that could either be really good or could actually be really bad. And these are the ones that maybe don't have access to every single lender in the country. Maybe don't believe 100% in always giving the right advice first. That's got to be the priority. Give the best advice first. No matter what, give the best advice. And if you're an aspiring mortgage advisor, that would be my rule for you. The customer's interest has to come first. You've got to give the perfect advice, the best advice that you can give to that customer. I've said that a few times now. I know I'm repeating myself. Shock. But that is absolutely 100% true. So the middle level of mortgage advisor, you get a little mixed bag here. Sometimes they might be more about getting paid, more about getting commission, get as much commission as possible than they are about giving the best advice possible. And I'm a big believer that if you stick to that best advice, if you're a mortgage advisor, stick to that best advice, you'll get paid. Now, you might not get paid today, but you will build trust with people if you give the best advice. If you just try and money grab and try and get everything you can, you're going to lose trust. You're going to get found out at some point. That's the way of the world. So those mid-level mortgage advisors, they could be really good, but they could also be really bad, and you've got to watch out for them. You'll normally be able to tell by how they work, who they work for, and perhaps some word of mouth as well. But again, be wary of that, because nowadays, you know what it's like. Soon as you say, does anyone know a mortgage advisor? Everybody who gets a little referral fee or an introduction fee or a bit of commission will put their head up and go, oh, yes, I know a mortgage advisor. And just so they can get paid. We're a very money-grabbing, greedy culture nowadays, aren't we? Everyone wants to get paid. Everyone wants to make money and earn money. But there is definitely a right way to make money and a wrong way to make money. Anyway, I've veered off on a tangent there, as you can probably tell. I hope all this is helpful, by the way. But then you get the top level of mortgage advisor, and there's not many of them around. I've got to tell you, there's not many of them around. But the clear and common traits within the top level of mortgage advisors, as few of them as there are, number one, they focus on giving the best advice first. Regardless of what that means to them financially, they give the best advice first. And that has to be the priority. By the way, the third thing is probably going to surprise a few people here, so hang on for that. But the third one, and probably the one that you'll think is the least important, but I think is one of the most important, is you have to get on with them. They have to be easy to work with. They have to be pleasant to work with. You have to want to talk to them. If you're going to be a mortgage advisor, you have to be very customer focused, very customer facing, because that's the job. You have to be approachable. You have to be contactable and accessible. You always have to be ready to speak to that customer. That is non-negotiable. The reason for that is if you get a good mortgage advisor, you've got to keep them for life. They've got to be with you all the way through your entire mortgage life, your entire property life, without fail. So you've got to be able to get on with them. It's like estate agents. I make a point with my estate agency of making sure that my sales team are always approachable, always accessible, regardless of the money. I do believe, like I said earlier on, there is a right way to make money and there's a wrong way to make money. Build trust with people. Let people find it easy to work with you. Be approachable, be accessible, be present, and then you'll win business and your business will grow. And I think it's the same in mortgages. You have to be approachable and pleasant to deal with. Your customers have to want to call you. I'm talking to mortgage advisors now, weirdly enough, but back to you as the customer of the mortgage advisor. You have to feel like you could pick up the phone to that mortgage advisor anytime. You have to feel like that mortgage advisor is on your side and with you, and they want to help you. That for me is probably as important as the other two, but I think all three have to be combined. Now, let me finish by saying I do own a mortgage broker. Of course I do, but I'm trying to give you impartial advice here on how you can look for your own mortgage advisor. Now, of course, if you want to email me with any questions, it's tom at soanegroup.co.uk. I'll answer any questions I possibly can, or comment below. I'll answer anything I possibly can below, or contact me through my Facebook page, whatever it is, however you contact me. If you've got a question, please do ask me. And hopefully that helps you find a good mortgage advisor. See you all soon.